it makes them feel a part of it, Even if they didn't do the whole thing, they said, well, I helped Sir do this, and I am the person who did this, and it makes them feel, important.
How long ago would you have been principal of the primary school here?
Since the 1st of October last year.
And
Couple of months.
so you mentioned being a teacher before being a principal.
Yes.
Could you tell me about that?
I started teaching music and art when I went into the primary system. Before that I was teaching information technology in prep school. After teaching music and art for 1 year, I went to teach physical education for 2 years, and then grade 6 I've been teaching since. I then acted as principal at Cavaliers and went back to Red Hills, and then in October I started this position here.
Being here since last year, October, you decided to just go on a beautification project, if you will. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, well, before coming here, I would have done murals at several schools. Even at Red Hills where I was teaching, I would have done a lot of murals there. So when I came here and saw the bare walls, instinctively, that was the first thing I need to get some murals on these walls. I, however, needed some funding to buy the paint and so on, and I got a little help, and so we did what we could.
Would you say that the bare walls itself was kind of a demotivation for students coming in of some sort?
Well, yes, because when you see the reaction of a child when they come and they say, first the shock of seeing the principal painting, right, and then they just fell in love with it, and you see them after you're finished, you see them going there, some of them are taking out their devices, taking pictures against the wall, they're coming, sir, this look nice, and they're explaining it to each other and so on. Yeah, it makes you realize that they really love seeing this thing, right, and it is really motivating them. And teachers there, they came and they said, sir, we love it, it makes us, even as teachers, feel, a little better about coming to this space. And sometimes they come to me and I'm there working and they say, sir, can I do it? Sometimes because of the paint, you have to be careful with what you allow them to do, but you give them the paint brush and I say to them, do this here or do that there, because what it does, it makes them feel a part of it, Even if they didn't do the whole thing, they said, well, I helped sir do this, and I am the person who did this, and it makes them feel, important.
One of the murals you have behind you is excellence is a habit. What was the mindset you had going into painting this landscape that's behind you?
Alright, so when I came, that tagline was given to me. The person who was in charge, the vice principal who was operating at the time, she said to me, sir, this is what we teach the children, that excellence is a habit. And I said to myself, alright then, let me do something that will attract them to that sentence, to make them believe, to make them understand that this is, as of now, we're not just going to be saying excellence is a habit, but it is something that we're going to be living in the school. So everything we do, we're going to make sure that it is done to the best that we can do it each time. What I really wanted so much is because coming out of the pandemic, we would have realized that children would have been, out of the loop, so to speak, as it relates to formal school. So we wanted them to get back into school. We wanted them to realize that being in school is fun, because some of them, after being at home for 2 years, they really needed to be motivated, because when we started back physical school now, the numbers were low. Children were not coming out as we expect them to, right? And we were of the mindset that school opened, people glad to come back to school and so on, but we weren't seeing that in the numbers. But after children coming in and we tried to make this space fun for them, and we realized that they started coming, and now when we say to them, students, we would be going off on holiday or on a midterm break, everybody crying, no sir, we want to come to school. So we are seeing that now where they're happy to be in school, which is good.
Is there anything next that you plan to do? Any more walls that you plan to paint and ideas that you have? The
good thing is we have plenty of walls and bare walls and a lot of space to paint. I want a mats wall. We have 2 walkways. So one of the walkways is going to be a language walkway where we paint murals on both sides, and one will be a math walkway, literacy walkway, numeracy walkway. And on the outside I have all the areas to paint. I have the name of the school to put at the top, because most person passing, they don't know that the school is actually located here, because we have been relocated from up top to down here. So persons don't know that it is primary is at this location. So I want to put the school name big on the front. I have things to put on every wall. My garden, I'm going to be putting another mural, nature mural around there. And I'm working on the water cistern now. I'm working on a water theme, something there. I want it to be different. I don't want it to be like what you see, the regular thing you see when you go to every primary school. You see the same thing, the same heroes looking the same way, the same people, the same murals looking the same. I want things to be different. When it comes to Stony Hill Primary, the murals are different. And thankfully, I can do them myself. It's just that I really don't have the time that I was hoping that I would have to actually do them. But yes, with time we will be a model school when it comes down to murals. I would really love if someone could assist us with getting some additional classrooms, you know, whether temporary or permanent, just to host. We have been turning back parents because we just don't have the space to accommodate them, right? And I don't think that space-wise it is the most conducive, but we want to make it as comfortable as it possibly can be for our students and teachers. So I would really love if someone could help us with, you know, even constructing one classroom. Currently we have all the grade 2 in one class, which should be 2 classrooms, so we really need even one additional classroom. When you have to turn back somebody and that person comes next week, again, even though you said to them last week you didn't have any space and they keep on coming, and you see that period, the desperation on them to get the child in this institution, it pains your heart really and truly, right? The difficulty of having 2 campuses. So I have to be here, I have to be over the infant because we just don't have the space to have all the children on one campus. Financially it's a burden as well because we're operating 2 plants basically. We have 2 canteens, 2 everything. So you find that you fix a fridge in the primary department today and the next week you get a call from the infant department that their fridge not working either. So you find that you know, financially it's a burden, and the ministry they don't treat us as 2 separate schools. It is one school, but we really and truly operational costs, we're operating 2 separate schools, which is quite a challenge.